Monday the 20th. Monday the 20th. You feel me now? Listen, Monday the 20th. Monday the 20th. Hold up. Let me put my cash up there. JoJo first in the building. JoJo the first one in here. I need there you go. Tap the screen. Sean G, Cornelius B, Just Me, Overstanding God. Check me out. Check me out. Monday, June the 20th, 2025. I'm in New York. Down here in court. Follow me on my Instagram. The podcast was sold. Follow me on my Spotify. The podcast was sold. Thank you to all of my new subscribers that have come. Shout out to Academics for sending a lot of his people over here. Shout out to all the women that have come over and become subscribers and followers. This is the podcast was sold. I'm Sean G. I run this channel. And let me say this right from the top, because there was some issues with me having James on my channel last week. You understand? Some of y'all asked me why I interviewed James and put him on my channel. Let me let y'all know this first and foremost. Thank you to everybody, man. All of y'all that support me. Going back to my first channel, right? I've been doing this since 2018. I put who I want on my channel. I started this channel with one subscriber. That subscriber was me. I started this channel with one video. I shot the video. I started this channel with one view. I was the first one to view it. I started this channel from nothing. When I got out of prison in 2016 with a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's degree in finance, I couldn't even get a job at Wendy's dropping French fries. I was working out at Gold's Gym. They wouldn't even give me a job for $9 an hour to re-rack the weights. So I started my own window cleaning business and gave birth to the window cleaner was sold. I built this channel. This is my media company. I do what I want to do. You don't tell me who to interview and who not to interview or none of that. I do what I want to do. You understand? This is my channel. You understand? So I had to let that be known. So let's get into it. Right. Whenever y'all come on my channel and say, Sean, why you interview him? I got to say sidebar. And the sidebar is, this is my channel. I do what I want to do with it. You understand? This is my second channel. If I wasn't on YouTube, y'all, when I was in Federal Correction Institution, Morgantown, then none of y'all put $3 on my books so I could get me a jar of mayonnaise for my tuna fish. Then none of y'all asked me, Sean, let me give you $5.80 to get little Sean a Happy Meal from McDonald's. No, y'all didn't. Y'all called me stupid because I went to prison. That's what you did. Yes, you did. But now I done blew up on social media. Now y'all want to dictate what I do, who I do. No, you don't. All right, so look. So before court started, before Assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic did her direct examination on Brendan Paul. Brendan Paul been here since Tuesday. So the judge was like, no. Assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic said, yo, he been here since Tuesday. We got to get him out of here. So they did his direct examination and his cross-examination today. Brian Steele did the cross-examination. Before court, Mark Agnifilo asked the judge if him and Puffy could chill in the courtroom after court so they could work on his legal stuff. Because when he get back to MDC Brooklyn, they be treating him bad over there. They don't do it right. You understand? They've been treating Puff bad over there, MDC Brooklyn, since he got over there. So the judge was like, all right, let me check it out. Let me see what I could do. Now, Brendan Paul was a assistant for Puffy, started in 2022, all the way up to March of 2024. He got arrested with Puff. What's up, man? How you doing? I see you.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
Von the Law, what's up? You recording me?
Nah, I'm going over there to the trial. Where's the trial over this?
The trial's right there, but you got your phone pointed at me.
Okay.
All right. So when they arrested Puff at Opa-locka Airport in Miami, KK was on the plane, Puffy was on the plane, and Brendan Paul was on the plane. March 25th, 2024. That's the last time he seen Puffy, and that's the last time he spoke to Puff, until he just saw Puff today. Who was that right there? Tony Q. Tony Q been on my first channel. I had a channel back I started this in 2018 by myself, me and Little Sean. Me and my son started this channel by ourselves. When they arrested Puffy, KK, and Brendan Paul, they found some cocaine on Brendan Paul at the airport. He's from Cleveland, Ohio, and he built a music studio in his parents' house, right? And he played basketball at Syracuse for Jim Boeheim. He was a walk-on. So I guess he a white dude. But I guess he nice. I guess he nice with the rock, because to play at Syracuse under Jim Boeheim, you can't be no scrub. So that's him. He interviewed with KK for the job. KK was his direct supervisor. His job was to organize suitcases, work with the chefs, pack Puffy's weed, go to the drugstore for Puff, do errands for Puff, go and set up for the hotel nights with the baby oil, the Astro Glide, the lights, you understand, toiletries, toothpaste, toothbrush, right? And then when Puff was finished doing the hotel night, he would go in and clean up all the towels and the baby oil and the sheets. He made sure Puff, what's up, baby? I see you. He's to make sure Puffy was on time for all of his appointments, that his travel was set up with Jessica Ruiz, who was the travel manager. He coordinated Puffy's workouts, his meal plans, and he worked with Puffy on the music. Being that he was a basketball player, he worked with Puffy on the workout tip. What's up? Look at my man recording me right there. What's up? You come over here. You ain't got to record over there. You look like an agent. You look like the police. You look like the police. He leaning up his two of them too. Whenever you see two dudes, they look like agents, right? He leaning against that pole recording. I ain't doing nothing wrong. I don't do nothing wrong. I retired as a criminal. Look at it, they both turn around.
Let me just sit right here.
Brendan Paul worked with other assistants, Jonathan Perez, who we spoke about last week, who was a government witness. Jonathan Perez ended up being more of a Puffy witness than a government witness because he told the assistant U.S. attorney last week, I think it was it Smizer, that he didn't even want to be here. You know what I'm saying? He didn't want to testify against Puff. He feel good about Puff. He liked Puff. He don't even want to do this. And that he still feel good about Puff. They asked Brendan Paul at the end of the second redirect, U.S. Attorney Slavic asked Brendan Paul, how do you feel? Where them dudes go? They went up there. Them some federal agents probably, man. They're over there recording. Asked Brendan Paul, how do you feel about Puff? He said it's complicated. He worked between 80 and 100 hours a week, 4 to 6 days a week, and he was always on call. When he started, he was making $75,000 a year. He got promoted, and he started making $100,000 a year. He got paid bi-weekly, and his checks were signed by Combs Enterprises. He's been on Puffy's private jet 3 or 4 times. He worked between Puffy's Miami home and Puffy's LA home. He would go with Puffy. I need more than 178 thumbs up, man. I need more. I need 500 thumbs up. Everybody double tap that screen. Get this video a thumbs up. Sean G live on the scene. If a reporter ain't telling you what I'm telling you, you understand? Look at my notes on a yellow notebook. I got the yellow notebook. If a reporter ain't telling you what I'm telling you, they are doing selective reporting. And a lot of these media outlets, they only report on the direct examination. That's when the U.S. attorney has the floor and they lay out all the bad stuff about Puffy. Seldom do you see any mainstream media companies reporting on the cross-examination. You got to come and get that from me. I do that. Whenever Puffy would do a club appearance, he would do club appearances at Club Live in Miami and Club Vendome. Puffy would get $150,000 to come to a club and just sit in the club. $150. He would get $150. And he would suggest that they sell his Ciroc and De Leon liquor. Under direct examination, U.S. Attorney Slavic, Assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic, she goes and says, weren't you up 3 days one time without sleep? Yes, but he said I was able to handle it. And Brendan Paul said that he used some prescription Adderall and some cocaine. This is what Brendan Paul testified to on the stand. But what they try to do in Puffy's indictment, it's mentioned forced labor. Forced labor is mentioned in the indictment. So all of the assistants, they try to present it like Puffy making them work. You understand? It ain't even like that. Before Brendan Paul started working for Puff, he smoked weed. He said that Puffy fired him one time because he forgot Puffy's Lululemon fanny pack. So Puffy told him, yo, call KK and tell KK you fired. Call Human Resources, tell him you fired. So he called KK. KK told him, said, don't sweat that. Don't sweat that. Just lay low. Just lay low for a couple days and let me work it out. Brendan Paul, the government witness, said that Puffy doesn't take no for an answer, and he wants his assistants and everybody in his company to move like SEAL Team 6. Very militaristic, no mistakes, very fluid, on point, accurate, precise. That's what Puffy demand. That's what Puffy demand right there. He don't want no buffoonery. He don't care if you foundational Black American, if you Czechoslovakian, if you, what's up? If you from Argentina, you Argentinian, or you from Mozambique or Zimbabwe, or you from Cambodia. If you can't be a perfectionist, you can't be perfect, get your ass up out of here. And I'm with that. I'm with that. I'm not hiring nobody just because we cool, because I know you. Your mother knew my mother. I may give you a shot, but the minute you don't perform or you underperform, get your ass up out. Get out of here. Get your ass up out of here. I need the best. Puffy wanted the best around him. He wanted the best. So what? Hold on, let me get some water. Let me get some water. Check me out with my water. I got the Trader Joe's joint. Check my Trader Joe's water out. Check Sean G out. Live in the sunlight, New York City. It don't never stop. What's up? How you doing? You listening? You want to come say what's up to my people? Come here. All right, you're not a camera person? So, when Brendan Paul got fired, Puff told him he forgot Brendan Paul forgot Puffy's Lululemon thing. Puffy said, yo, you fired. Call KK, tell her I fired you. He called KK, KK said, just chill. Just lay low. He laid low. But what Brendan Paul did, he was proactive. He didn't get depressed. He didn't get down. He said, what can I do to make this right? Brendan Paul went to the Lululemon store and bought Puffy a new fanny pack. He bought him a new one. He bought him the fanny pack, gave it to a dude in security, and said, yo, give that to Puff, tell him it's from me, and then he laid low. KK called him and told him, after a little while laying low, KK called Brendan Paul and told him to go to London to advance a hotel room for Puff. So Brendan Paul went to London, set the room up. While Brendan Paul is in London setting the room up, he run into Puffy. And Puffy said, yo, what's up? Brendan Paul said, yo, what's up? And that was it. He had his job back because he was aggressive, right? He was preemptive. He was proactive. He didn't get depressed. He didn't start beating himself up. He didn't give up. He didn't quit. He said, yo, I'm going to get my job back. When and bought that man a Lululemon fanny pack. Brendan Paul said that he saw Puffy use cocaine, ketamine, ecstasy, and weed once or twice a month. He said sometimes there was drugs in the house, ecstasy and Tusi. Tusi is some kind of ketamine mix. And they got some ketamine lollipops. He bought some of them too. And Puffy had this Gucci bag was where he kept all of his drugs at. You know I charge for taking pictures.
Sorry.
Where you from?
Brazil.
From Brazil, bom dia.
Bom dia.
You from Rio de Janeiro?
São Paulo.
São Paulo, okay. Olodum.
Olodum is from Bahia.
They're from Bahia. Yeah. Puffy, Brendan Paul testified that Puffy and some of his assistants told him to buy drugs. The assistants that worked with Brendan Paul was Jonathan Perez, Frank Rodriguez, and Joey Chavez. I got the dopest notes ever. My notes is the best. My notes is the best. Puffy, he would buy weed for Puffy, 8 ounces each. Puffy like 2 strands of weed. He like King Louis and he like Sunset Sherbet. Those were the 2 brands of weed Puffy liked. And Brendan Paul spent $4,200 on the weed. He bought the weed from a dude named Philip Pines. He bought some ecstasy, Tusi, ketamine, and K-Pops. Puffy's personal use amount, the amount of drugs that Puffy used was between $300 and $500. In Puffy's indictment, there's a predicate charge of possession with the intent to distribute. That is a predicate charge in the indictment. All this week, they advertising on mainstream media, Brendan Paul is the drug mule. This is the drug mule. Uh-oh, this is gonna be that bombshell moment that's gonna knock Puffy head off. Everybody, yo, it ain't happened yet, but yo, the drug mule coming. They finna do Puff in. Check me out. Check Sean G out. Puffy's personal use amount, $300 to $500. Brendan Paul would text drug dealers named Guido, One Stop, Ovi, and Baby Girl. The assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic put up some text messages between Guido and Brendan Paul. Guido texts Brendan Paul, is this for you or for Puff? Brendan Paul said, it's for Puff, but say it's for me. Brendan Paul will go to the drugstore to pick up Cialis for Puffy under the name Sean Combs or Frank Black. Brendan Paul testified that Puffy asked him to pick up prescription drugs without a prescription, Xanax, but he never got the Xanax. Puffy had 2 phones, a yellow phone and a red phone. The yellow phone was the business phone, the red phone was Puff's personal phone. He paid cash for things that he had to get for Puff. He got the money from Fahim. Out of his own pocket, Brendan Paul has spent about $5 grand. $4,200 on weed, about $700 on other types of drugs. So he was owed about $5 grand. So Brendan Paul was like, yo, where my money at? Where my money at? Pay me, man. It's been months, man. Pay me. So he texts KK and Fahim and said, yo, I need my money. Fahim told him, all right, no problem, I'm gonna get it for you. Brendan said that he took drugs with Puffy one time after Coachella. It was some Tussie. Puffy told him, said, yo, try that to see if it was good. He said the reason I took it was I wanted to prove my loyalty. Puffy asked him, is it good? Brendan Paul said, I think so. And then we both just continued with our night. Now, the assistant U.S. attorney, they got nothing. They come back. Now it ain't a king night. It's not a freak off no more. It's not a hotel night. She describes the day as a wild king night. Same thing, man. Same thing. Stop with all the adjectives, man. Stop putting the lighter fluid on it, putting the gas on it. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Jane Doe, who is with it, and with Cassie, who is with it. They both with it. Jane Doe and Cassie, both with it, man. Stop trying to make it be something that it ain't. At these Wild King nights, it's sex, drugs, and his girlfriends. Puffy had multiple girlfriends. But Brendan Paul said the one person he saw the most for the Wild King nights was Jane Doe. No other girlfriends did Wild King nights, because that was Jane Doe's thing. KK asked Brendan to set up a King night. What's up?
No, I'm just listening.
King night 2 or 3 times on Jane Doe's birthday. Now, how could Jane Doe be forced? How could she be trafficked? Check me out. Brendan Paul said on Jane Doe's birthday, Puffy sent her a gift. He made reservations at Nobu restaurant. I guess that's a high-end restaurant. And they had a King night. They used to do the King nights at La Hermitage and The Edition in Miami, Los Angeles, or at Jane Doe's crib. Assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic says, how many times a month would you set up a King night between Jane Doe and Puff? He said about once a month. About once a month. And this is trafficking. Come on, man. Stop, man. Stop. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop, man. It's in the notes. I got 500. I got 485 likes. I need 500. Hit that like button. When Brendan Paul would set up the Wild King nights, he would order extra sheets, extra towels, Astroglide, baby oil, cologne, liquor, and lights. So the government, all they could do is put up pictures of baby oil and Astroglide. So what? So what? It's a crime to have baby oil and Astroglide? You could get it, if I go buy some baby oil, y'all, I could get charged with RICO? That shit is old. We've been talking about baby oil for 5 weeks now. Stop showing the same thing. The government put up a picture of a sex store. Brendan Paul went into the sex store to buy some sex stuff for Jane Doe. He took a picture. Brendan Paul also took a picture of a hotel night after Jane Doe and Puffy was in there. It was messed up. And she said, well, why did you take this picture of the hotel room? He said, I wanted to send it to Robin, who was Puffy's accountant, to let her know that there may be some damages. He bought, Brendan Paul bought drugs for Puffy. This is y'all's drug mule. This is the drug mule. This is the drug mule. I bought drugs for Puffy for an amount between $100 and $500. This your drug mule. $100 and $500. $100. This is your drug mule. This is your drug mule. On March 25th, 2024, he was on the private jet with Puffy, KK. They was getting ready to go celebrate. They got arrested. Brendan Paul got arrested for cocaine. He told them it's not mine. But he did not tell the police it was Puffy's. My charges, this is what he said on the stand. My charges have been dropped because I have a really good lawyer. No, Brendan Paul, your charges has been dropped is because you became an informant. That's why your charges been dropped. It had nothing to do with your lawyer. You became an informant, a rat, and you agreed to testify against Puffy as a government witness. That's why your charges got dropped. But on the stand, he said, my charges have been dropped because I got a really good lawyer. Man, knock it off. Knock it off. Stop that. As a result, as a condition of his charges being dropped, he had to take drug classes and do some kind of pre-trial intervention. Now, the direct examination is over. Assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic says I have no more questions. Cross-examination, Brian Steele. Cross-examination, Brian Steele. You already know. You already know how Brian Steele get down. Check me out. Hold up. Let me get some water. Check me out. Brian Steele begins his cross-examination at 10:16 a.m. I write everything down. Look at my notes. 10:16 a.m. I got it down to the minute. Brian Steele. Brendan Paul, you were a walk-on at the Syracuse basketball team. True? Yes. You played for Jim Boeheim. True? True. Yes. Brendan Paul, you also received ACC academic honors. True? Yes. You're very smart because you're an honor student. True? True. Brendan Paul, it was a great opportunity to work with Puffy. True? Yes. Brendan Paul, you knew when you got hired to work as one of Puffy's assistants, you knew it was going to be hard work. True? True. You knew it was going to be long hours. True? True. You understood you were working with a billionaire. True? True. You understood you were working with an icon. True? True. Brendan Paul, Puffy receives 1,000 text messages a day and he needs a support staff for that. True? True. Brendan Paul, you enjoyed being with Puffy. True? True. It was amazing. It was an amazing opportunity to work with Puffy. True? True. You work 4 to 6 days a week, between 80 to 100 hours a week. True? True. Brian Steele. Check out Brian Steele. Brian Steele ain't scared. Yo, every time, what I'm getting ready to tell y'all now, every time Brian Steele, when we got to this part, every time he would say something, the prosecution, objection, Judge Submarinian, overrule, objection, overrule, Brian Steele, question, objection, Judge Submarinian, overrule. Even if he asked the question and the prosecution objected and the judge sustained the objection, meaning he can't ask that question no more, he asked the same question again. He don't care. He asked the same question. Same question. Same question. Brian Steele. Brendan Paul. You are not a drug mule. True? Objection? Judge Submarinian, overruled. Brian, George, let me do that over. I messed that up. Let me do it over. Let me get some water. I messed that up. Brian Steele, Brendan Paul, you are not a drug mule. Prosecution, objection, Judge Submarinian, overruled. Brendan Paul, no, I was not. Brian Steele, Brendan Paul, you are not a major drug trafficker. You weren't selling kilos. Prosecution, objection. Judge Submarinian, overruled. Brendan Paul, no, I was not. Brendan Paul, in the 18 months you worked for Puffy, you've only gotten drugs for Puffy 5 times. Isn't that a small amount of times to be working with somebody for so long? Isn't that a minor part? True. Brendan Paul. In your 18 months of buying drugs for Puffy, no more than 5 times, the value of those drugs you bought for Puffy was between $100 and $500. True? Objection? Judge, overruled. Brendan Paul, true. Brendan Paul, isn't that Puffy's personal use in his personal life? Objection? Judge Submarinian, overruled. Brendan Paul, yeah, that's my understanding. This was his personal. Brendan Paul, you testified under direct examination that you set up king nights, wild king nights for Puffy. True? True. Brendan Paul, didn't you say Puffy gets over 1,000 text messages a day? He's a very busy man. He's an icon. He's running a big 5, 6 businesses. True. Isn't the king night, the hotel night, the freak off, isn't that his personal? Did you look at that as business or his personal time? Objection. Judge, overruled. Brendan Paul, yeah, I thought this was his personal time because he was so busy. Brendan Paul, did Puffy do any hotel nights with any of his other girlfriends? No, only with Jane Doe. Brian Steele, check out Brian Steele right here. Killed it, killed it. Snatched victory from the prosecution. Brian Steele, you talk to Jane Doe a lot, right? True? Brendan Paul, true. Brian Steele to Brendan Paul. Brendan Paul, in the 18 months and all the times that you talked to Jane Doe, did she ever seem hesitant to do a hotel night? Brendan Paul, no. Brendan Paul, did Jane Doe ever appear apprehensive to do a hotel night? No. Brendan Paul, in your view of dealing with Jane Doe, because you spoke to Jane Doe a lot, right, Brendan Paul? Yes, almost every time they did a hotel night. Was there ever a time, Brendan, that you saw Jane Doe and she seemed not to be a willing participant? Objection, judge, overruled. Brendan Paul, Jane Doe was a willing participant. I spoke with Jane Doe every time. Brendan Paul, this is Brian Steele. Brendan Paul, Combs Enterprise is not a criminal enterprise. True? Prosecution, objection, judge, overruled. No, I wouldn't think it would be. Brendan Paul, you would not work for a criminal, would you? Brendan Paul, no, not knowingly. Brendan Paul, you did not work for a criminal in working with Puffy. True? I never looked at it that way. Is a king night criminal? Brendan Paul, no. And there was a bunch of objections. See, every time Puffy's defense team establishes the fact that the freak off, the hotel night, the Wild King night, whatever the hell you want to call it, is his personal time. They jump in and object and say this is business. It ain't business. Yo, this gonna kill you right here. This is your drug mule. Yo, send this to mainstream media. Send this to all the mainstream media that don't come down here. You just be in the back running your mouth in your studio up in Midtown Manhattan. I ain't never seen none of y'all down here at the courthouse, and I'll be down here every day. This is your drug mule. This is your drug mule. Brian Steele, Brendan Paul. Brendan Paul, your case got dismissed, right? Yes. Brendan Paul, the cocaine that you got busted with on the plane on March 25th, 2024, you got that cocaine because you were cleaning up one of Puffy's hotel nights. True? True. Brendan Paul, Puffy didn't know you had that cocaine, right? True? True, Puffy didn't know. KK didn't know you had that cocaine on your person. True? True, KK didn't know. Brendan Paul, he said, I forgot I had it. It was so small. The amount of cocaine Brendan Paul got busted with on March 25th, 2024, that the feds charged him with and was going to send him to prison for was 0.7 of a gram of cocaine. 0.7 of a gram, not even a whole gram. Check me out. Not even a whole gram. This your drug mule. This your drug mule.
What's up, man? You walked out, huh?
Who up there now? Who understand now? Who understand now?
I'm not sure. I ain't gonna go back.
You ain't stay? Yo, everybody put 0.7 of a gram in the comment section. 0.7, not even a whole gram. Not even a whole gram. This your drug mule. Where the 0.7's at? Where the 0.7? 0.7. This is your drug mule. This is your RICO. This is the possession with the intent to distribute in Puffy's indictment that they're going to give him 30 years for. Shit is crazy. It's crazy. I got the notes, man. I got the notes. I got the notes. Brian Steele, your drug case got dismissed. Did Puffy know you had the drugs on you? No. Did KK know you had the drugs on you? No. He said, I forgot I had it on me because it was so small and I got it from cleaning up a hotel night. How much was it, Brendan Paul? 0.7 of a gram. Oh my God. Shit's crazy. Shit is crazy. I can't believe it, man. This is the RICO. This is your RICO. This is your RICO. Brendan Paul, you worked on, in 2023, Puffy released an album called The Love Album Off the Grid. You worked on that album, true? In the studio and production, true? Yes. Brendan Paul, in getting ready for the release date from the album, you stayed up for 3 days in a row with no sleep in order to get the album out. True? True. The album had a great reception and sold, went platinum. True? True. Brendan Paul. Did Puffy stay up for 3 days getting ready for the album? Yes. Did everybody working on the album stay up for 3 days to get the album out? Yes. Everybody was up for 3 days. But the assistant U.S. attorney tried to make it seem like Puffy kept him up for 3 days, forced that nigga to stay up. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Everybody stayed up, including Puff. Including Puff. What's up? How you doing? What's your name? Come here, Tanya. I'm live on the YouTube. You don't want to go in there? Brian Steele, Brendan Paul. Brendan, you saw Puffy take drugs a couple times. True? True. Brendan Paul, would you agree that Puffy became even more focused and more creative when he was on drugs? True? Brendan Paul, true. Brendan Paul, you never seen Puffy hurt anyone, have you? No. Brendan Paul, looking back, are you indebted to Puffy? You learned a lot from Puffy, didn't you? Yes. You made a lot of connections working for Puffy. True? True. You met industry people working for Puffy that you never would have got to meet had you not worked for Puffy. True? True. You ain't got no axe to grind with Puffy. True? True. You were subpoenaed to come here. You were subpoenaed to come here, and you have an immunity deal that you have to tell the truth. True? True. But Brendan Paul, this Brian Steele, Brendan Paul, you would have told the truth even if you ain't have no immunity deal. True? True. You ain't got no beef with Puffy. Brendan, do you? True? No beef with Puff. Then Brian Steele shut it down. He was done. No more questions. Then Assistant U.S. Attorney Slavic got up. Man, shout out to everybody that giving me super chats. I can't see. Thank you. It's all love. Thanks for the cash apps. I'm locked in on what I'm doing because I'm a pro. I'm a pro. I'm a pro at reading my notes. I'm a pro. And I take the best notes. My notes be the best. I got the yellow notebook. Look at my notebook. I got the yellow notebook. So the U.S. Attorney got up and did a redirect. You know what I'm saying? That shit wasn't nothing, man. It was over. It was over. It was over. This is the drug mule. This is the case. This is the sensationalism that Alexandra Shapiro talked about in her letter last week, asking for a mistrial. This is just sensationalized against this man. Point 7, he got busted, not with 3 keys, with Puffy's money. Puffy was a billionaire. He could have been buying 5,000 keys a week. Brendan Paul got busted with 0.7 grams of cocaine with his drug mule. This is crazy. This is so bad. This case is a perversion of justice. And let me say this. A lot of y'all come in my comment section and you disregard and you close your ears to the actual testimony and you close your eyes to the actual testimony and you hate Puffy so much for the domestic violence piece that he did to Cassie, which he's guilty of. He assaulted Cassie. He kicked her, dragged her, all of that. But because of that, you want to convict him on a RICO charge that's going to give him 30 ball, 30 years. And you're even hoping that this perversion of justice. You're willing for justice to be subverted, subjugated, turn a blind eye to the law, and convict this man by whatever means necessary, even if it has to be a wrongful conviction, he doesn't get a fair trial, convict him anyway. But when you, in your life, when shit happened to you, you want yours to be perfect. But let me say this to y'all. If you wish that for Puff, don't be surprised that you be in a situation where somebody is lying on you. Somebody is giving a false testimony about you. Someone is giving a false account about you. Don't get mad when it get done to you. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Don't get mad when it get done to you. Don't get mad. Don't get mad. Cassie, willing participant. Jane Doe, willing participant. No trafficking. There's no children. No children. None of the testimony. And I've been here every day except for like 3 days when I went to Tampa to do my interview down there. What's up, Jay? No pedophilia. No sex dungeons. No whole house celebrity freak off. No videotapes of celebrity. No nothing. No arson. No nothing. Nothing. And I see why Puffy took this to trial. I see why he took this to trial. Because the government ain't got nothing, man. They have no case. They have no case. And that's why every witness that they put on the stand, Puffy's legal team has destroyed them. Destroyed them. What I was looking for, and what everybody was looking for, the first day we came, we was like, man, I know they finna give out some stuff. Everything I've seen on social media, everything I've seen on YouTube the last 10 years, everything I've seen on mainstream media, man, it's finna come out. It's finna come out. And everybody's sitting there, heart beating, waiting to get the damning evidence that's gonna bury Puffy so they can come out, put it on their social media, get a bunch of views, and say, this is what they said. And we've all been let down. Every YouTuber, vlogger, even reporter for these big mainstream media, we've all been let down. None of that information has come out. Nothing about Puffy being gay. All we know about Puff, he got like 8, 9, 10 women, and he fly around on his plane, and he just knock honeys down wherever he go. And he let them honeys know right up front, yo, I ain't just seeing you. I'm seeing you, I'm seeing her too, her, 2 of them over there, little honey over there. Honey, I'm seeing all of y'all. Is you with it or what? And all the honeys be like, I don't care, I'm with it. I'm with it, I don't care. I don't care. All right, he used drugs, he uses ecstasy, he uses cocaine, he smoked weed. So what? Charge him with that. This ain't no RICO, man. No selling of the body, SEX, PROSTIT, IOUN, none of that. Jane Doe was with it. Cassie was with it. Gina was with it. Young Miami was with it. All the mother honeys. Jessie was with it. Chelsea was with it. Mia was with it. Capricorn Clark was with it. Every honey that he knocked down was with it because they wanted to get something from Puff. They felt like if I give him some of that kitty cat right there, I could get something. And all of them wanted to be in Cassie's shoes, cause Cassie, it was something about Cassie. He loved that girl, but she ended up ratting on him too. She shot him in the head too on the stand. She cooperated. There's no Rico here, man. Ain't no Rico, man. Ain't no Rico. My Cash App info right up there. Shavers Clark. The Cash App is at the top. It's pinned at the top of the live chat. $ astigmatism in my soul. And let me say this one last time. Check me out. I need everybody in the live chat to put it in the live chat. What hotel? There's 100 hotels in New York. But what hotel did Puffy choose to stay in? What brand did he support? What business did he give his money to? Put the name of that hotel. Put it in there. Put it in there. What hotel? He could have went over there. He could have went over there. But where'd he go? What's up, baby? I see you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Who he supported? We support those that support us. Now, this dude y'all putting in the live chat, who is he? Who is that name right there? Who is that name? Who is that? What's his job? What's his job? What'd he do? Right, okay. That's what he is? That's what he is? Send this video to him. Send this video to him. Now what can he do for Puff? What can he do? What can he do? 0.7 grams. The drug mule. What they say? What can he do? Check me out. Check Sean G out. Check Sean G out. Check me out. All last week, yo, all of us down here, all the YouTubers, all the TikTokers, all the reporters, yo, the drug mule coming next week. The drug mule coming next week. And I'm thinking like, oh man, this is it. This is where they got Puff at. This is where they got him. A drug mule, I was thinking he got 2 kilos of blow taped to his waist. He got a kilo in here, a kilo in here. He moving key. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, man, they finna knock Puff head in the dirt again. Cause I'm believing the nonsense. I need y'all to tell me how much cocaine did he get caught with? Put it in the live chat. Put it in the live chat. Put it in the Terrell, Drain Masters. It wasn't even a whole gram. 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 0.7, the feds charged them and threatened them. They probably said, man, we're gonna send you to prison for 10 years unless you cooperate against Puff. And that's what he did. This is it. If mainstream media don't tell you what I just told you, you know that it's selective reporting. This case, the prosecution, this is a perversion of justice. This is a perversion of justice. There were 5 victims. Victim number 3. Who was victim number 3? Put victim number 3 in the live chat. What's her name? What's her name? Residue, Sunshine, Residue. Big Tone. Victim number 3, Crystal, I see you. Put her name in the live chat. Gina. Gina said, man, I'm not doing that. You want me to come down there, get on the stand, and point at Puff, and this man helped me? I was in financial jams. I couldn't call my mother. I couldn't call my father. I called Puff. Say, yo, Puff, I'm fucked up. I ain't got no money. I need some help. And this man came through. This man took me on. This man showed me love, bought me gifts, took me on his plane, took me on exotic trips, loved me, bought me stuff, gave me money. And you want me to get on the stand and testify against him? Gina said, man, hell no. Hell no. Never that. Never that. Never that. What about victim number 5? Ain't that supposed to be victim number 5? Victim number 5, she ain't nowhere to be found. Where's she at? Yeah, my man, you see victim number 5? Yo, you see victim number 5? Excuse me. Have you seen victim number 5? You ain't seen victim number 5? Hey, anybody over there seen victim number 5? Where's victim number 5 at? Victim number 3 said, yo, hell no. Victim number 5 said, man, I ain't coming neither. I ain't coming neither. Victim number 5 said, I ain't coming neither. The victims that came, Jane Doe met with federal prosecutors 24 times. Victim number Mia, the other victim, she met with federal prosecutors 27 times. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just telling you the truth, man. But y'all still want to see Puffy. Listen, I've been to prison. The next step to prison is the graveyard. That's as low as you could go. I never want to see a man go to prison unless he's absolutely 1,000% guilty. There's no way I want to see Puffy go to prison for this, man. If they would have took this case to the state of New York, and charged him with assault, well, they couldn't even have been in New York. It would have to been in Los Angeles, because that's where the assault took place. Cassie didn't even report. Cassie was with Puffy for 11 years. No police report, no 911 calls in 11 years. Nothing. 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 Nothing, man. Nothing. Nothing. Zero 2, thank you for that super chat. I don't know what y'all want me to tell you, man. I don't know what you want me to tell you, man. Today is Friday. Stay tuned on my channel, because I'm going to be doing some other breakdown of this case. This case is a travesty. This case has turned into a soap opera, or as the Spanish people say, a novela. If the prosecution had a super clean case, super clean, there's no need to meet with witnesses 8 times, 13 times, 24 times, 27 times. There's no need. My case is clean. I got this man dead to the right, and they don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have it. I left. They got some kind of summary witness on the stand now who's gonna sum up the whole case. Sum up what? Sum up what? Sum up what? The perjury from Brianna? What you gonna sum up? You gonna sum up the perjury from Capricorn Clark talking about an arson that never happened? Where the fingerprints and the DNA came back to a woman? No eyewitness of Puff at Kid Cudi's house. No fingerprints of Puff at Kid Cudi's house. No video footage of Puff at Kid Cudi's house. No eyewitness of Puff at Kid Cudi's house. The fingerprints came back to a female, right? The Los Angeles Police Department destroyed that. What you gonna sum up, man? What is there to sum up? Arson is another one of the predicate offenses in the RICO. Shoot the arson in the head. Boom! 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 Shoot the arson in the head. Possession with the intent to distribute. Shoot him in the dome. Doof! Doof! Crazy. SEX trafficking. Jane Doe and Cassie. Shoot that in the head. Doof! Doof! They both willing participants. It's crazy, man. I hope they don't convict this brother, man. My heart will be broke, man. If they do this to Puff, man, my heart will be broke, man. But I don't doubt it. As a me personally, as a foundational Black American man in the United States of America, I know how the criminal justice system is toward us. When I was in federal prison in FCI Morgantown, West Virginia, it was about 1,100 dudes on the compound. I would say 87% of the inmates was foundational Black American. If Puffy's money wasn't tall, Puffy got tall dollars. Puffy got tall dollars. If Puffy didn't have tall dollars, Puffy would be in MDC Brooklyn getting ready to get shipped to USP Big Sandy in Kentucky, USP Terry Hut, USP Marion, USP Atlanta, USP Lewisburg, the most violent federal prisons in the country where you gotta take showers with your boots on. And if you wanna take a nap, your homeboy gotta stand outside your cell and guard you while you take a nap. But Puffy's money's so tall, Puffy got tall dollars, his defense team has dismantled the prosecution's case. In my estimation, in my opinion, there is no amount of help. What's up, man? There is no amount of help that the judge can help the it's over. It's over. They brought up some other witness, man. I don't want to hear that. The case is over. Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. Not guilty. All right, you want to charge him? You want to charge him with a little drug charge or whatever? All right, whatever. But the most serious predicate charges, and they talked about that this morning before the direct examination. Alexandra Shapiro and the assistant U.S. attorneys were talking about making some amendments, requests for amendments to some of the predicate charges because they ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. They ain't got nothing. But if Puffy get out of this, I'm hoping that he looks at his life and looks at his choices and his decision making with the people he has around him, because that's what led to my downfall. Well, I did wrong. I broke the law because I got greedy. That's why I went to prison. I was making so much money, I got greedy. And I was wrong, and I went to prison, and I should have went to prison. Because I knew I was doing wrong while I was doing wrong. But when I looked at what happened to me and how everybody, what's up, man? How everybody turned against me. The same way people close to Puff testified against him, the same way it happened to me, man. The feds had turned everybody against me. They was willing to cooperate. And I said to myself, I said, Sean, what was wrong with your decision making and your judgment that you had these kind of people around you, right? You know what I'm saying? So I had to look at my life and my choices and my decision making. It was something wrong with me that I allowed them type of people around me. And Puff, the same thing. But when you get a lot of money, and I had about 1.2 million, I was 38 years old, 1.2 million, I got reckless. My money made me careless. My money made me careless and reckless, and I was able to buy people, I was able to buy circumstances, I was able to create outcomes with my money. People smiled in my face, they told me yeah when they wanted to say no, and that shit got to my head, and it led to my downfall. It led to my downfall. And never again. Never again. That's why I ain't got no friends. I ain't got no friends. I don't want none. Stay over there. Now, I don't want to be your friend. I'm cool. Huh? Nah, I'm cool. I don't need no new friends. Stay over there. Be friends with them. I'm by myself. I'm by myself. Because I'm not going to rat on me. I'm not going to stab me in the back. I'm not going to cut my throat. I'm down for me. I'm my best friend. I love me. I love me. I'm not going to jerk me. I'm not going to talk about me behind my back. I'm not going to cooperate against me. I'm not going to testify against me. Fuck that. I'm by myself. By myself. By myself. I'm all right. I'm all right. I'll be all right. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. All right, let me get up out of here, man. Finna get up out of here. Sean G, podcast. So check my suspenders out. But look, I look good with these clothes on too, right? But if I was to peel and take these clothes off, I still look money with the shirt off. So I look money with my suit on, and then I look money when I have my shirt, because I'm cut up and ripped up under here. I got abs. I'm money, man, all the way around. With clothes on or with clothes off. But that's only with the honeys, though. You understand? Only with the honeys, though. You understand? Sidebar. And yo, just because I had the dude on my channel, don't put me there, man. Sean G, that ain't my style. I like honeys, man. I like the little water balloon in the front. I like the little water balloon in the front. I like the flat stomach. I like when she got a flat stomach, and then she got the little water balloon through the raccoon,
Park
like
full.
that. Park full, raccoon full. Don't never think Sean G is on that. Never that. Never that. Never that. I like beautiful women. That's what I do. Hey yo, all my fellas, put water balloon in the front. Put water balloon in the front in the live chat. The water balloon. I like that water balloon. The little triangle joint. Little triangle joint right there.
Empanada.
Where the water balloon at? Water balloon in the front. There it go. Water balloon. What's better than the water balloon? Nothing. Nothing better than the water balloon. So don't never front on me. Don't never front on Sean G. All right, I'm out of here.
Punch your bag.
Peace.